Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's topic is going to be on comparison because I think a lot of people compare each other with someone who has a different calling from God. So if we are comparing our journey with God to another person's journey with God, or maybe you're not comparing their journey with God, but just in the way you look, in the way that you feel, in the opportunities that come up in your life versus someone else's, and just all those things that we compare other people with us. So I made up this quote about a month or two ago, and I think it really helps to depict the idea of why we should stop comparing and why we should just be happy with who we are. So it goes like this. Someone out there wishes they could be you. So why would you stop being the person that someone can only dream to be? If that doesn't make sense to you, I'll break it down. Basically, if someone wants to be in your situation, there is always going to be someone lower than you and than your situation. So you might be complaining about your life, but someone would just love to be in your situation, and they can only dream to do that. But we are in that situation right now, so we should be grateful for that. The second thing I want to talk about is why we should never try to become like someone else, because no matter how much we try to do that, we will never be perfect or accepted in society's eyes, but we are always accepted and we are perfect in God's eyes. Okay, so next I have 5 Bible verses for you guys today, and the first one is in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 6, and it says, "For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the Spirit." So that last bit there says they'll be judged according to men, but live according to God in the Spirit. So if we want to compare ourselves to someone else and try to fit in with society, then that's going against God. But if we live for Him, we are going to be judged by other people, and that's okay, because Jesus said, "If the world hates you, just know it hated me first." So if you are comparing yourself and you want to try to fit in more, then just know that you should just keep following God's path. So the next verse comes from Psalm 139, verse 14, and it says, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well." And this entire psalm just talks about how we are made perfectly by God and in His image. So basically, this is just saying if we are comparing our journey of life to another person's, or if we are just comparing anything about ourselves to another person, then we should just know that the Bible literally tells us that we are made perfectly. Any flaws that we think about ourselves or that we think are flaws are not flaws, and the only reason that we have those thoughts is from the enemy or from society. So the next verse comes from Luke 12, verse 15, and it says, "And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesses." So basically, this is just saying if we are jealous or envious or comparing ourselves to someone just because of the possessions or because of a place of greed in our hearts, then our lives should not rely on that or be jealous or greedy of that. Because it says right here, a man's life does not consist in the abundance of the things that he possesses. So we should not be worried about that kind of stuff if we do not have it at the moment. The next verses come from John 21, verses 21 through 22, and they say, Peter, seeing him, saith to Jesus, Lord, and what shall this man do? Jesus saith unto him, If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. So Peter is concerned about what John, the other disciple, another disciple of Jesus, will do. And he's concerned about him, but Jesus is just saying, worry about yourself, basically. So this is just showing us that even Jesus does not want us to compare. And then the very last verses come from Galatians chapter 6, verses 4 and 5, and they say, But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. So these verses to me just talk about how we should just mind our own business and basically not be concerned of what other people are doing, and also not let other people carry our own work or our own burdens, because that is our job to handle. So to sum up today and today's topic, just don't compare your journey to another person's journey in life. Just handle your own work. And if any comparison is weighing on you, give it to God and He will handle it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.